What's up, party people and magic makers? Destiny here on this magical Monday, and I want to chat with you about overwhelm. So, over the past couple of weeks, there's been a ton going on here in our holiday. My husband went into the hospital for some tests, found out that someone that I know and love very dearly passed away, taxes, work stuff, um, just all of this stuff felt like it was piling up, right? And I realized I'm not the only one feeling this way, which is why I was like, hey, let's hop on and let's talk about this. So, what happens when you feel overwhelmed? It, I don't know about you, but like for me, it feels like I'm in water in the ocean and like I'm up to my nose. And every so often I can get my nose above the water and then it kind of like sinks back down and I come back up again and like just barely kind of over that water, right? And it's like there's a struggle going on because I feel like I'm literally like I'm drowning in just all this stuff to do. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel nice. It feels like there's the possibility of a breakdown coming. And if you're anything like me, you want to avoid that breakdown. Except, except that breakdown actually is very freeing. A couple of things happen when we put ourselves into overwhelm because funny enough, it's actually a choice that we learned. We learned that overwhelm was okay when we were younger, so it's a response to our younger days, and it's like we're just carrying on that pattern. And if you think about like overwhelm, and even with confusion, it's fight, flight, or freeze, and both of those fall into that third category of freeze because it literally makes you stop in place, right? So it's a response to whatever's going on in you. But if you don't stop long enough to figure out what's going on in you, it'll build and it'll keep going and it'll keep burying you and it'll keep feeling like you're drowning, right? So, how do we get ourselves and shift ourselves out of this overwhelm? Couple things that we can do. So, the first is allow ourselves to feel our feelings, right? I've said this on many videos before, but anger to me felt like the only emotion that I was okay to have growing up. It felt like if I was sad, I would be called a crybaby, or I would be made fun of. And then it also felt like if I was really happy, then I was proud and I should be more humble and stop bragging, right? So even though it wasn't said, like anger is the only thing you can show, it was it was what I felt. It was what I knew wouldn't get me in trouble, right? So what happens though is like with the overwhelm, it's not because I feel angry. I wasn't angry about any of those things that occurred. I was sad, I was hurt, I was um uh, for a little bit of my husband's testing in the hospital, I was actually elated and joyful, right? But I wasn't allowing myself to feel those other feelings because I was responding and I was reacting to what I knew as a kid, right? So one of the first things you can do is actually identify what it is that you're feeling. Okay? If you're unsure, there's a tool online. If you pop it into Google, it's called a color wheel. And you can go in there and you can identify, like the area that you're working in so that you can say, that's what I feel like right now. That's what I'm feeling. So you have to be able to identify it. The second thing that you get to do is you actually get to allow yourself to feel it. Now, this is going against every possible thing that you're going to feel and you're going to know, and it's going to feel very, very strange, but I promise you you're going to be okay. So, the trick that I use is I give myself a certain amount of time to feel this emotion. For a couple of reasons. I don't want to be dragged down into it. I don't want to have it last so long that like now I'm stuck in this emotion or this feeling, which is actually the fear that a lot of people have, is that once they allow themselves to feel a feeling, they're going to be stuck in it and they don't want that. You don't have to. You don't have to. I just set a quick timer on my phone and like allow myself. That's the trick though, is you have to allow yourself to feel it completely and wholly, right? So however long it's going to take you to get into that emotion, hey, chalk up some YouTube videos, whatever you need to do to get yourself where you got to be. Stay in that for a short period of time. You know, for me, I use 45 seconds. That seems to be, you know, my sweet spot. So whatever yours is, go ahead and find that for yourself, but just not too long, right? I don't like doing this for over a minute and a half. For me, that just feels like too much. So that's why I said 45 seconds for me works great. So feel that feeling. Allow yourself to feel it. Now, what if you have many feelings that you want to feel? Cool, one at a time. Take it one at a time. Okay. So you're going to identify your feelings. You're going to feel those feelings. Yes. And it's okay to feel those feelings because we're human. We're human beings and it's okay. It's okay. Even if you're someone who's coming back for your spiritual journey as a human, there we go. Okay. Then the next step to just supporting yourself in getting out of all of this is to just take a breath and just breathe. Okay. And know and tell yourself that you're okay. And know and tell yourself that you're safe where you are, right? You're in a spot where you feel okay, exuding and expressing this of yourself, right? And just breathe. Just breaths in and out. Just breathe to get yourself back and settled. Okay. Now, after you've done that, you need to get all of the shit that's in your head, that's stressing you out, that's freaking you out, that's stopping you from moving forward, that's getting you into that fight, flight, or freeze mode out of your brain. Write it on a piece of paper. This is great for a brain dump, right? And you can call this brain dump whatever you want. Shit that got me stuck. Overwhelm list, whatever it is, get it out of your brain and onto a piece of paper, right? And this doesn't have to be pretty. Just get it out. If you list it, list it. If you want to get creative with it, get creative with it. But get it out of your head and onto a piece of paper. Okay, and once you're there, relax. Do another session of breathing. Just breathe, right? And now check in with how you feel. You should feel a lot lighter. You should feel much better. You still may not know what thing to do next, but that's okay. You just needed to get it out of your brain, okay? Now, what happens if any of this stuff is still stuck or you're still feeling it? Awesome. Please go and get yourself energy cleared. Like, get yourself an energy clearing. I'm happy to do this with you. I love doing this with you. But it literally takes all of the energy that's stuck from all of the emotions that didn't get quite unlocked up and out of you so you feel lighter, you feel better, and you have clarity. And isn't that really what you want? Instead of feeling overwhelmed, like you actually know what you want to do next. That's the piece. That's the piece to get this up and out of you and just away so you know and you can identify what the next best step is for you because that's really important. That's important for you to know so that you don't get yourself back into the overwhelm cycle of holy crap, I've got 18 things on my list now. No, I'm going to support you in identifying what the next best step is. Okay. And that's the one you want to take. The next best step so that all of the other stuff gets like tossed, they get put on the wayside, hang on, they get put on hold, and you can focus on this one thing, get that done. Then what's the next best step? And then the next best step. And pretty soon you're rocking and rolling, right? And you've now shifted yourself out of the overwhelm into getting shit done. And that's ultimately where, you know, like you can move forward, you can like take the action to get you where you want to be, to get you where you want to grow, right? Without all of this extra stuff. But we gotta feel the feels. We gotta, right? Feel the feels. So identifying what you're feeling, feel them, take a breath in, get all of this stuff up and out of your brain and onto a piece of paper. Okay? And then move forward from there, right? I would love to absolutely support you with doing an energy clearing to get that up and out of you. I'm happy to leave the link below. I'm actually doing a really great deal. They're going to be $47 for 30 minutes. That's a steal of a deal right now just because I was like, you know what, for anybody else that's feeling overwhelmed, I don't want you to be that way anymore if you don't want to be that way anymore, and we can get that gone. So I'm going to put that link in the comments below, but I would love to support you in this and let me know if this video helped you get this stuff up and out and moving forward. That's the part, is the moving forward, all right? All right, so until next week, peace.